Let's go to the second topic we have for today,
Okay.
which is the importance of being passionate.
Mm.
So that's something. So people say, okay, you're a passionate person, but um, why is that important? Isn't it more important to have money, to have family, to have job, and to have health, whatever? Why passion?
So, so let's just say that passion is connected to all these things that you just mentioned: job, security, financial support, or abundance. It's not like we're saying be passionate and let go of being a responsible adult. That is
Yeah.
not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is that if you can't find something that you absolutely find that you let's go to even like, if you like something, because some people I know I've met who are like, I don't love anything. And I'm like, okay, got it. So if you like something, or if you love something, however you want to say it, what is that thing? And are you allowing yourself to receive it, to gift yourself the time or whatever it is to actually experience some of that? Because you just said something earlier to me about a passion of yours, which is dancing, social dancing. And that to me, like if you didn't do that, I bet you wouldn't feel as excited about your life. There would be
No.
something missing, right? Because that feeds you in a certain way, with connection, being in your body, um, joy, whatever it is of that experience of dancing, and that's what we want people to tap into. So, the listeners, if you can think of something that you really love and you're doing it, then you are actually already living a passionate life. It's when you are denying yourself that thing or those things or that feeling or that whatever that experience is. And I'm not saying that, if you want to become uh, travel first class and you don't have the money in this moment, you just get the clarity first that you want to travel, right? And that you want to travel first class. And wow, that sounds so fun. Like, yes. Then when you just start to stay open, there's a formula in the passion test world, and it's intention, attention, and no tension. The intention is getting the clarity about what your passions are, consciously choosing what you want in your life, right? That's when they can start to show up. The attention is you start to put attention on those things, right? So if it was for you, the dancing, now you start to look for classes. Now you start to hear, oh, there are these events where I can actually do these things. Oh, so cool. And you start to say yes to them. That's a big piece. You have to say yes. And then the no tension piece is you just go, okay, it might not show up exactly the way I thought it would, but I'm going to stay open. So maybe instead of you finding a class, someone comes up to you and says, hey, Dimi, I need a dance partner in this super cool event. And would you do it? And you're like, whoa, I never thought I'd be doing that, but here I am. And then you say, yes, right? Because that's the key. There's a quote from Janet Bray Atwood: whenever you're faced with a choice, a decision, or an opportunity, choose in favor of your passions. So I think before we were talking, and it might have been before we were being recorded, that when you are loving yourself, there's something about self love here. When we don't say yes to what is important to us that feeds us, we are abandoning ourselves. And that to me is the greatest disservice we can do to all humanity, because then your gifts don't shine through because you're denying who you really are. And our passions do change. It's not like, you might have one passion and it stays exactly the same. It might not. Let me give you an example. My passion for training, for teaching. Once I was a teacher, Then, I was an educator. I'm now a coach. I'm also a master trainer in the passion test world, and we train people to become facilitators. But that's a real, I was working with kids, and now I'm working with adults. And I love to facilitate groups of people. And that's to help them to educate and learn more about themselves, to find their own inner wisdom. So there's a thread, right? It just might sound and look differently throughout the years. So the most important thing is to just, like for you, Demi, what is one thing that lights you up, that makes you just sparkle? Like you just think about it and you go, besides social dancing, because I heard salsa and something
Bachata.
cha-cha.
Yeah.
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 What else?
I mean, that's a great question. And, while I was listening to you, I was just, the thing which is coming in my mind is love and connection. Because love and connection is definitely has been my passion, my need, my very important need in life. And what I'm doing in life, like dancing, like coaching, um, being with friends out there, and being in nature, fulfills in a way this passion of love and connection, because this is what, as you said, lights my spirit, my body, my mind, everything.
Right.
So I just wanted to share that, the importance, because the importance of being passionate and following and living your passions, in my opinion, is that you become, in a way, not just in a way, just more connected with yourself, with your true nature. And when you become more connected with yourself, you really get this drive and motivation and inspiration to live your life to the fullest. And because I've been in, I think most of the people being in the other place when you don't want to do anything, procrastinate and self-sabotage yourself and all of the other things. And for me, literally, the difference came when I started connecting with myself and following my passions. Before that, I didn't know it's passion, but it was a passion.
Yes.
Like personal growth, like coaching, like dancing, like we said, like singing. Music is something very important for me. And all of this were, the overarching thing was love and connection. And all of these were kind of, I think you call it like markers or something.
Yes.
Which is giving you the chance to live your passion to the fullest. And that's the thing, And I just want to say, for people out there who really are connected with this love and connection, that we believe that the only way to have it is to have an intimate relationship. And for me, that was a big challenge, because I thought that that's the only way to have it. And you become attached to it.
Right.
Or to the person who is next to you, right? So that's my journey, and that's why I want to share, connected with the passions, that you can do it through many ways. If you understand what's the reason, what is the overarching thing, and yeah, that's very important for me. Living your passion, this motivation, this inspiration, this zest for life, it will come alive automatically when you start living your passion, I think.
Yes, and I think it's also important that you mentioned a couple of things that I want to go back to, because they're really good. You talked about markers in the passion test process. When and if somebody was to go through that process, they get clear about the 5 things that are most important to them, and then they take those passions, and you then write down like 3 to 5 things that are the evidence of what that passion might look like, right? So that then so it's not just some thing in the sky, like I don't know, passion. It's so global. It's so like love and connection. What the heck is that? Well, you just brought it down into a relationship, right? So then it becomes this relationship, and now then you said something about like maybe the attachment to it might be actually painful. And that's that no tension. Remember, we talked intention, attention, no tension. That no tension piece then is where we want to release our expectations. And by doing that, then we're able to open up to anything, because maybe the love and connection is to yourself and you miss that completely,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Because you're like only focused on somebody and something outside of you. And then you're like,
Yes.
wait a minute, whoa, stop. So
What's happening?
that's right. So being able to actually stay open. And to me, I'm very much, this is why we are connected, is because to me, connection is foundational to all the coaching and the work that I do. And I often am asking people, so when you're doing something, ask yourself, do I feel connected?
Mm.
And if you don't, and it's like, do I feel connected to myself? Yeah. Okay, good. Or do I feel connected to this person? Oh, actually, no. So what do I need right now in this moment to feel connected? Because I think you're right on, Demi, with the understanding that when we don't feel connected, there's a real loss that we can experience, a loss of knowing who we are, of feeling like there's something missing,
Yes.
and that can, that's the depression comes out of this. A sense of grieving, loss. And I've been doing actually a lot of work around the grieving process, because I've found that a lot of people who are depressed are actually, depression can often be that we have not grieved for something. And it could be
Mm.
as small as, a loss of a place, which could be very big, actually. And it could be also, the loss of a person or an animal, or it could be the sorrow of the world and the impact of the world. It could be just, the loss of, you had a plan for that day and it didn't happen. And
Yes.
there's a lot of ways in which we grieve, but we don't actually give ourselves permission to grieve. And so I have been finding this dance of grief is actually a beautiful way to stay awake, just as much as being in joy and with our passion. We have to have it all. It can't be one or the other, it's both and. So to me, experiencing all of these, and again, it always comes back to the feeling level for myself, because this is where I experience the feeling. When I numb out, and numbing out is, sometimes it's an appropriate thing that we need to do. It's a strategy. But once I can pay attention to being numb, then I can go, okay, so what's underneath that being numb? Like what might I be feeling? And
Yes.
then I go, oh, I'm feeling sad. Okay, what am I feeling sad about? And I like literally am just staying curious with myself and asking. And I often write, this is where I'm journaling, because I find that when I journal, and even when we're writing out our passions, we're writing them down. We're making it more real when we write something down on paper or we type it on a document. That's when it's like, oh, this is a real thing. So that's a very powerful process. And then, I could go into a whole nother thing about how
Yeah.
to help people around understanding how to move from contraction to expansion, because there's, besides of passion test formula, there's also this process of nature's guidance system. And maybe that would help. So Demi, if that would help, I can go into that. And if not, I can talk about it a little later.
Yeah, we can if you want we can talk a little bit later. So let's go back to the even though I'm super excited about it. I mean, when you start talking about it, I just got interested to talk. So let's see where we're gonna put it.
Mm-hmm.
But even we can do another episode. I mean, that's an option. We